This is American Dumpster Fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to American Dumpster Fire. This is Loki,
This is Tyr.
This is Fenrir.
and we're back.
So to explain, Odin's out sick today, so we have a stand-in.
We have our intern Fenrir.
I have replaced him.
He usually gets us. He usually gets us coffee and beer.
No,
Today
I don't get you guys.
he has a
anything.
voice. So, all right. So,
World War III.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
like every time, it's another train wreck, and it just never seems to end, right?
Well, that's the
It's pretty much nonstop train wrecks. Yes, that's an accurate description of America these past few years. Yeah.
Like this has been the longest 4 years of my life.
No shit.
Never felt like.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, it looks like you might not live much longer. So
That's true. Could all come to a
But
terrible
I
end.
kind of want to.
Well,
live,
okay.
though.
So, yes, we all know Trump started World War III with Iran. Whatever. We killed their general. They fired some missiles. A plane looks like accidentally got shot down, right?
I think so.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, the signs are pointing to Canadian plane shot down by Iran.
we claim they killed hundreds of U.S. citizens, but the truth is there's no real evidence that ever happened.
Yeah, I have never.
Oh, you mean like over time?
Yeah, there's no evidence of this actually. So
Everything I've seen is that his entire reason for doing this and the whole backstory is all razor thin, like nothing.
it's
Yeah,
no
like
evidence.
The reason
No.
why he was killed.
in
was
fact
because he was a
the
terrorist.
only thing that smells right is that he did this to try and stay in office,
to overshadow
distra-
the impeachment.
yes, to distract us from the
So
impeachment.
from what I've seen, like a lot of people didn't think Soleimani, I don't know how to say his name, wasn't the greatest person. There was plenty of
No.
presidents
Yeah,
who had this information in their time, and basically every time it was brought to a president's attention, be them Republican or Democrat, basically that they didn't feel that it was worth the risk to American lives to take the shot.
and Trump doesn't care about your lives.
And that's what I read, was Trump is aware he doesn't care.
Well, that's the thing. It's sad when you have a United States president who doesn't care about American lives, but the thing is, like, Iranians are knowing about the risk of human lives and only blame President Trump.
And that's true. That's what I was just looking at, is that they specifically are pointing at Trump, saying our problem isn't with America, our problem is with Trump.
So our saving grace may be the fact that this other country
Is more mature.
recognizes that human lives are valuable,
Yes.
whereas our own president, not so much.
I think they looked on Twitter and like, yeah, nobody likes this
So
asshole.
they put a rather absorbent bounty on Trump and his properties.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. There was 2 of his golf courses, most of his hotels. The thing is, if anybody are in these hotels or golf courses, and these things either get burned, blown up, or just assaulted, Trump kind of started this. He's kind of responsible, isn't he?
Well, the problem is that from there were consequences to our killing of this general, right?
Right.
The fact is that they set off bombs and stuff like that. They blew up a few things. I don't know that there were any casualties. I'm not
It was
sure.
essentially, though, a message that they're not going to bend over and take it.
They were trying
Which
to.
is fine. Those things happened in the Middle East. But if they're putting a bounty on Trump's head and properties, I can tell you Americans are probably much more reckless, and anyone who's going after that money, somebody might get hurt.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think the
So
things that
careful when selecting a golf cart at one of his properties or
no
something.
kidding. Avoid his properties for a while.
So
just avoid his properties in general. Why would you ever go there?
Well, people do though. Okay,
think-
and so like in reaction to what happened here, the Democrats tried to pass something, right?
right.
To
Well,
put restrictions
first
on
off,
him.
what led to that was the fact that Trump did not alert our own Congress that he was going to do something like this.
Oh my!
Right.
And now Trump claims that's because that Democrats couldn't be trusted because we
We
warn
would
him.
have leaked attack plans, is what he said.
Now,
What would we
mind
gain?
you, there is evidence that he was talking about this whole thing openly at Mar-a-Lago in front of his guests. And
Really?
and his children, right? So he's worried about Democrats leaking this shit. But he
was
is
chatting up his golf
chatting
buddies.
up a bunch of fucktards with golf clubs about doing this, and his reject sons.
And daughters.
Yeah, send them. Get your
Send the Trump family?
get your fucking war list from Mar-a-Lago and send them. I expect to see a hover round cavalry on the front
And
line.
that's the thing is we keep joking about World War III. Well, I don't really
Draft
know how
them.
much. I don't know how much of a joke it is, but yeah, I'm saying if it comes down to war, we just kind of offer up the contents of the White House.
Well, what
Right.
what I'm thinking
They can go
is
fight their own shit.
How
it's
about
like
we just give you these guys in exchange?
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of
No war.
stupid.
Here you go. We'll gift wrap them for you.
I've seen a bunch of stupid memes online, like World War II tank, World War III tank, which is like a laser tank, or like stupid commentary that doesn't make sense about feminism. The truth is, the only people that need to get drafted are the Trump family. Just throw them out of the country. We don't need them anymore.
The draft doesn't apply to them because they have bone spurs. No, I'm surprised there have been no memes about like SpaceX fighting this fighting
no.
World War III.
There's been
Oh, are there?
Yeah, there's
I
been
haven't
memes
seen them.
About, well, you don't Reddit.
Oh, yes, that could be the
The
problem.
loophole, the wormhole.
There's
of
also
Reddit.
been how every Republican suddenly got bone spurs the minute World War III was mentioned.
Oh, I'm sure.
So.
I'm sure.
But guys, you don't need to worry about bone spurs. You've all got diabetes.
so,
was allowed to see Trump steaks.
in addition, Trump's actions have had other consequences. So, like, Iraq has now been trying to get us out of their
Yeah.
country.
So what I understand is the president doesn't want us to leave, but the parliament
Yeah,
does.
they're the president of Iraq.
Yeah.
So our people are announcing that we have no intention of leaving, but
we should.
we should if they're asking us to leave.
This is your out, guys.
have no
wanted
right to
us to
stay.
de-escalate. You wanted us to get out. Here's your out. You're being asked. Just go.
And instead, we're sending thousands more troops.
Right.
What are we really enforcing over there? What are we
Oil.
really getting? Besides, like, okay, so oil.
Oil.
Yeah, they-
We're
in
we're
no-
making sure we keep a boot on the ground so that we can claim any oil that we
So
find.
In November,
So we're
billions of
stealing-
gallons.
Wasn't there like back in the day? Wasn't there people guarding like opium fields and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
There's pictures of guys
We were-
in Afghanistan because one of the number one places to grow opium.
Oh, was it Afghanistan?
Yeah. And in Iran, they discovered in November like billions of gallons of oil under the ground. So
So we're trying to keep a third world country from making it anywhere.
I don't
past
think
that.
they're necessarily
I was
third
gonna
world
say they're not
country,
really
but
third world,
Are
but
they? Yeah.
but yeah, we're trying to stake a claim in some way. I
Right.
mean, the bottom line is we've been over there for how long? Fucking shit up.
we've been meddling in their shit since the 70s that I know of. Probably earlier than
And
that.
things are not getting better for them.
So no, we've made things entirely worse. I had a friend from there that they fled in the 70s because they were an atheist family, and she showed me pictures of when she was a kid, and it was a utopia.
Right.
She showed pictures of her wearing Daisy Dukes on a college campus in Iran,
Right.
and until the Americans installed a religious psychopath dictator so we can get cheaper oil.
Right. Exactly. We're the ones who mess things up. And like truthfully, in all the time we've been over there, we've done nothing to make it better.
No,
Wait,
we've
so
made
They
it worse.
want us to leave. I completely understand why. And the only thing that we've done is destabilize things to make it to where Russia can come in and take over if they
So-
want to?
Yeah, we've done exactly what they're blaming Soleimani of doing, of interfering, of starting riots, of interfering in elections, starting localized wars and stuff like that.
Wait. I'm
So
sorry.
the things that they're accusing Soleimani of doing, which he more than likely did, I'm
Wasn't-
not denying that,
Mhm.
but we did it to them first. We pretty much probably taught him how to do it.
The
wasn't
truth be
there
told, go ahead.
wasn't there 9 Russians caught involved with meddling with our elections? Like,
There was a lot. There's a lot of indictments involved in the Mueller investigation, but yeah, and it goes so much deeper than that, and we're never going to find any of it out because
Because it's
our-
all being buried.
our Justice Department is corrupt. Yes.
Um,
But speaking of which, New York State Bar is basically like gave a scolding review of Bill Barr's handling of things.
Really?
But nothing's ever going to happen. Nobody's ever going to do shit. You know, can you disbar the attorney general? You know, I mean, you should be able to.
You
By all
absolutely
means, you
should be able to.
But this is corrupt America, where you can get away with whatever the fuck you want if you're rich.
This is America.
And that's the thing, is that for so long, America has kind of like acted like we're better than all these other
We're a
countries.
disgrace.
Yeah, we've
Fucking look at us. We are a disgrace.
Yeah, look how far we've fallen.
We're a huge disgrace. Everything about this country that should never have been able to happen, everything that we stood for, everything we were created for, it's gone. We've ripped it to shreds and shat on it.
The comedian George Carlin actually was talking about how we're warmongering people and stuff, and that America, even though 2 centuries in of its creation, or is it through now? I don't know. I haven't got it straight. Yeah, three centuries.
Move it along.
Either way, and that we even so close to our birth of the country, we've been over 50 wars now, almost 50. Just like
I feel like we've been pretty much nonstop wars.
and
I think we've had a collective of 6 years since our inception without war.
Right. And tell me what the purpose of all these wars is.
To feed the elite.
Aside from like World War fighting Nazis, those kinds of things.
But in
like
the end,
the vast
that was
majority.
about the banks. And few people realize that the banks funding both sides, that was about making a profit.
Well, Hitler needed to go. So I'm not even going to.
I'm not denying that.
I'm not even going to like talk about that.
But it
war.
wouldn't have been a thing if
But
the
the
elites hadn't funded it.
Really.
Well,
That's the thing, is that the elites will often fund both sides of a war. Like, that's the thing.
Because they can
Greed is fueling so many of these wars. Look at how much money goes into military budgets and everything. Like Halliburton.
It's disgusting.
Private companies' profits soar when the U.S. is not at peace.
Right? It's disgusting.
So the second we're at peace, guess who's funding a war? Guess who's behind a politician saying, hey, guess what would be great
That's why
if we invaded this country?
Lobbyism needs to be outlawed, period. We need to take away the voice of these mega corporations and elites so that they can't keep sacrificing our children to the bottom line. I mean, that's just...
And that's the thing, is it's not their children that are going over there. It's
hell
only
no.
ours.
They can always get whatever doctor to say whatever they want because they've got the money to bribe them. So.
The laws don't apply to them. They're not living in the same world that we're living in.
I was listening to...
Or more accurately, that we're dying in.
I was listening to a podcast where there was this guy who was... they're talking with this guy. He was a financial handler or something for the elites. And he was just baffled by how they aren't like us in any way. Their borders mean nothing to them. They'll just hop on a plane and go wherever they want. No passport necessary.
Right.
You can like just ruin lives and I don't know, pay them off, make it go away. And then
right, exactly. They don't live in the same.
They're psychopaths.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any consequences.
There shouldn't be people who are that fucking rich. I'm
No.
sorry, but that should not exist.
Why haven't we eaten them yet?
I'm not even saying that. I'm
'Cause
saying
the court of
if
law.
if they paid taxes, the world would be a different place.
Make
The thing
a
is, people
great
are crying
chili.
over
Ugh.
What? Oh, God. I was going to talk about Elizabeth Warren with her tax on the rich and then Republicans whining, but Jesus.
But you got distracted by eating the rich and chili.
I mean, I'm not saying no, but...
It's a
He's willing to try it.
I mean, hey,
it's
you
a
can't...
spicy.
It's oh my God, it's a spicy meatball. Okay, the thing is, you cannot knock it till you try it.
Now I know that Betsy DeVos is probably gamey and bony,
Ooh.
Oh no,
Ew, that's
ew.
jerky. You can only make jerky out
but
of that.
I might be able to make a pretty good asshole soup.
But you need some good, tasty, refined ass. Not.
I'm so
Betsy
disturbed
DeVos.
right now.
And it's not asshole soup because I'm just using the asshole. It's because she's an asshole. so you know.
I maintain the concept that she is not of this realm, so I don't think you even know what you're going to end up with there.
So
So it's gonna be even more fire.
Like Hellspawn's got to be spicy.
maybe I can just make a leather jacket out of her. I don't know.
That'd go there.
That makes sense.
More possible.
So I just rub her Amway products on her.
She's
until
already
she's
wearing a
solidified.
skin suit, I'm convinced, so it should be pretty easy to remove.
Oh yeah, her and like Mike Pence is way too glossy, right? I mean, that
Oh,
guy,
absolutely, he's fake. Yeah.
yeah.
Skin suits.
Well, I was just thinking that.
Skin suits.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was like, was this like, was that a wax, like, mannequin of something?
I don't know. I
he
imagine
got
they're like
into?
Slenderman underneath or something.
Yeah.
No,
I don't
that's
know.
just
There's definitely no
wrong.
soul.
No soul.
Like, so
No-
what is
nothing
it?
in
you
there.
know?
Not human.
mean,
Not human for sure.
Trump threw Pence under the bus, saying that something he was being talked about gay marriage, right? He's like, don't talk to Mike about this. He wants to hang them all, and I was
know.
like, what the hell? And now he's proposing internment camps for them. So I'm like, so why are you denying that they're not Nazis? At this point,
Oh no, they're
Wait,
totally Nazi.
Who
Yeah.
proposed that?
Pence, I think.
Oh,
My
you
friend-
mean he's for the why can conversion therapy?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I know
therapy
it
with-
is disgusting.
for the people.
I think we should bomb conversion therapy camps.
Yes.
Well, there's
Pull your
innocent
troops.
children there.
Yeah, we'll remove.
Well, yeah,
the
we'll
innocent
get,
children
like,
for
you
a
know-
field trip. For a field trip.
We'll send some special forces in, get the kids out, send the A team in, blow that shit up. You know.
Kill those goddamn.
I mean, it's
Look, we
it's
can have some more soup.
religious sponsored abuse, religious sponsored child abuse, and we're like, oh, but it's for
my
religion,
new
so it's
band
okay
name.
to abuse those children.
Yeah.
They're gay. They're not one of us. They don't deserve to
Your
be equal at this point.
Invisible Sky Daddy makes you an asshole.
Sky Daddy.
Basically, yeah, that's what it boils down to.
So
Or their perversion of their invisible sky daddy.
Yeah. Why does it matter what I do in my bedroom? Why are you looking in here, you
know,
freak?
it is really creepy how much they care. Like
True.
what I do with my life. Why do you care so much? It is so creepy that you care what
know.
I do in my
well,
life.
because if they're looking at your life, they don't have to look at their own.
It's just like
That's
what?
why. But it's not just that. Like they're the most likely to try to figure out what kind of genitals somebody has and like all this other stuff. And we're like,
Right? Why are you
like
so
to the
perplexed?
extent that my favorite thing is like all these people who are so like anti, allowing trans folks in the appropriate bathroom for them. And then to the extent where they're like, well, they might look at us and they could assault us and blah, 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 blah. And yet they're the ones who are perving on when
Right? Why are you
when
looking at their
Isn't-
genitals?
when a
Isn't
trans
there a trans ban on joining like the military?
Well, there
Yeah,
was.
there
There
Then
was.
it went away, and now it's back because we have
back.
an asshole as a
No, no, no.
president.
I'm
Wait.
saying when-
Now we have an excuse not to go to World War. We could just say we're trans.
well, when a man or a woman is using the appropriate bathroom, whether they're trans or not, and you're trying to peek, you're the perv.
Okay. Well,
And I've heard stories of this.
I have a simple fix, but yes, no, I've heard them too, where there's actually people legit like peeping on people to find out if they're trans or not, which is, it's fucked up, guys. Don't do that. It's fucked up.
You would think that goes without saying, right?
Like, yeah, I mean, but that's
Common courtesy,
look,
maybe.
I went to a
Maybe
restaurant.
don't look at people in the bathroom.
I went to a restaurant
No, thank you.
like last week or week before or something like that, and there was a sign on the door of the bathroom that says, "This is a bathroom. Anyone can use it."
I like
And I'm
that.
like,
Look at that concept.
I like how
wow,
so
this
I
was
like-
such a simple fix.
It's so simple.
Why hasn't this caught on?
Because people suck.
They really do. They really do.
They really do.
So yeah, I mean, it's such a simple idea, and great chicken.
Hey, great chicken.
Great chicken. Well, you hit the two important parts.
So,
So
in the end, buy our book, 101 Ways to Eat the Rich.
It's not done yet.
Yeah,
and,
but it'll
and neither are the rich people. So
we'll get
Still
there.
cooking them.
Oh, I
We'll
can't
find
wait.
ways for you people soon.
This country just needs like such an overhaul. Like such an overhaul.
well, you know what? There's a few things that give me some hope. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I'm going to see it in my lifetime. But the fact of the matter is, millennial fathers spend 3 times as much time with their children as their fathers spent with them.
That's good.
And that's how
Okay,
you
boomer.
raise better kids. That's how you raise smarter, more well-adjusted children. You know,
Spending time with them.
Sophisticated.
It's a pretty basic
not
concept.
not spending a bunch of money on them or anything like that. Spending time with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real simple idea. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe answering the question, being mature enough to teach them things and answer questions,
I
you
love how
know.
wholesome this is now. Like, it
So-
turned from World War III and we're going to die to spending time with
But
your
that's the
children.
answer. The answer, I think, is a wholesome one. I think it is really simple, you
The
know.
problem is that global warming. Will there be a planet left for these kids
But
who
that's
are our hope for the future?
Look.
Like we need to make a 360 or a
W-
180.
We
You
just,
gotta say threesome.
on
Yeah.
election day, on election day, just go and lock the nursing homes.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Oh no.
Don't let them out.
Someone just give Trump an Etch-a-Sketch and tell him to vote.
He's not an old guy. He's just a child.
That dude has lost it.
Oh, he's not there. Yeah, he's. This is
Yeah,
like watching Reagan all over again.
I can
right?
see
Oh
it
my-
now.
no, that's
I accidentally
everybody's
voted for
comparison, but at
Sanders.
least-
No problem. Just shake it.
Well, I mean, at least Reagan had a dad that gave him attention.
No, I'm talking about Reagan's mind deteriorated the longer he was in office, and that's exactly what's happening here. I don't think we started with
I
a
don't-
high bar. Don't get me wrong.
We didn't, but like I don't know. I see an equal amount of people claiming dementia as I do drug abuse. As far as
I don't
like
think it matters.
his messed up sentences
It doesn't
and
matter.
like incoherent ramblings. I notice more and more they're forcing him to read the prompters.
The road leads to the same destination.
Oh yeah, I'm on Twitter, and
His brain is mush.
my friend
Yeah.
is genuinely confused. Set out a poll where it was either, do you think this person's do you think Trump, this is his real how he acts, or do you think that this is him just on hardcore drugs? And I'm surprised more people pick drugs than how he actually acts, because how fucked up is he? What shit is he on? He needs to tell me.
I've seen quite a few people claim that it's similar. I want to say it was Adderall, but they like specifically named a drug where they're like, yeah, that's the effect of whatever drug it was. And I could be completely wrong, but it wasn't like normal use. It was like that dude's popping them every hour or something. Like
It's a lot like meth or yayo, fucking cocaine. He's
So yeah,
I don't know. Like it could very well just be dementia because he really seems to like confuse himself.
well, what brain
So-
is it?
he wasn't all
affecting?
there to begin with.
Yeah,
I mean, he
No,
really
but he's
wasn't.
deteriorated in
He's
a
gotten
hurry.
worse, yeah, but he wasn't there. He wasn't all. Not all the lights were on.
I don't think he was
Yeah.
intelligent.
this guy was.
No, he's
he's-
not intelligent.
you know,
He's
this
a
guy
dumb
was
shit.
trying
There's
to.
a reason he won't release his grades. If he had good grades, he'd be blasting them everywhere.
Oh no, yeah, he's a moron.
Because he toots his own horn constantly. If he had grades to brag about,
Yeah.
they'd be
I
plastered.
took a poopie. I'm the
would-
best at taking poopies.
He would wallpaper the White House with his grades if that was the case. But because they don't, nobody knows what his transcripts are.
Oh yeah. Yeah, everything that is bad, like his taxes, his grades.
Just does
Have
not
any
show
more
His
states
underpants.
passed that? Do you remember one state passed that if a president wants to run, they have to release their taxes?
I don't know, man, but we need to do this.
Yeah.
I think on all the problem is how many red states we have. Even though the population in some of these states might be more Democrat than Republican, the
Right,
problem
there's
is
just
that
more land.
There's more
Yeah.
land. There's more cows that vote Republican
Right.
than
No,
Democrat.
a lot of cows.
Thanks, Electoral College.
So
Thank you
that shit
for
needs to
poor.
go.
Yeah. So yeah, I responded to the poll. 95 people actually said, yeah, he's taking drugs. I was one of the 5%. And so this guy was like, I really don't know if it's just drug abuse or some medical condition. I just replied with, hey, he was probably dropped on his head a few times, and he was also neglected. So that explains why he's stupid and constantly yelling like he wants attention.
It's also possible late stage syphilis or something like that.
I mean, I don't know about that. He has doctors for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but
Like,
his
you know,
doctors even
unlike
don't
half
know.
of us Americans, he can afford health care.
I think he was broke before he became president.
He had money before he became president.
No, he had money
His
before
daddy
he
did.
Listen,
became president.
That
His
dude
daddy
is
did.
in
I
the
think-
worst fucking health. The only reason he's alive is because he has money for health care.
It's all those hamburgers.
It's not him who has it, it's his daddy who has it.
Well,
Well,
he's lost most of it, but still, he has.
That's what I'm saying. Is
more
I think
money
he
than
was
we
rich.
do.
I think he went broke and was like, hey, if I run for president, at the very least, I can keep whatever campaign money's
right, and
left
he's
over.
funneling money to his personal accounts.
And then he's using money he ripped off from his charities and
$2 million.
and then the money he ripped off from students in his fake Trump university
Mhm.
and all the contractors
just-
he's not paying and all. I mean, it's one big scam life.
He's just
Oh yeah,
gonna-
he's definitely a con man.
It's a small loan of $2
I'm not-
And he pulled off a hell of a con making
Wha-
it into the presidency.
Yeah, what honest thing has he done?
I really don't know what
Nothing
he's
ever?
done.
The
I've been
poopy.
t- The presidential poopy. Now, I have a very conservative classmate, and they're like, Trump has done a lot of things, like avoid wars. And I'm like, what wars? I don't know what the hell he's actually done that's helped this
Avoiding
country.
war is
They
your
keep-
job as a politician.
Yeah.
Unless they're talking about the bone spurs.
The things that conservatives keep like supporting him on are they claim the economy is better than it's ever been,
Only
Which
for
is a
filthy
lie.
rich people.
only for elites, right?
Yeah.
They claim that the national deficit is down.
No, it is up.
Is absolutely not. And then they're racist and they like the wall.
Can I also say something?
And,
Trump.
and by the way, till now, no new wall has been built.
Oh no, there has been wall, but
No, no.
Mexicans have been climbing.
No,
it daily.
no, there isn't new wall built.
There
There's
was
old
There
wall
was.
repaired.
Wall. But Trump created this little thing. He wanted to create a thing called Space Force. Obviously, sounds
We all know
so
about it.
stupid. Yeah, and there is. I think I saw this on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and where they went out in public and asked people, "Why are you supporting it?" And then, like in the end, they're like, "'Cause NASA lies to us." And I'm like, NASA is the government. And then they're like, okay, fine, it just sounds fucking cool. And I'm like, yeah, but that's just a waste of money at that point.
Does
isn't
it though?
And like,
Does it sound cool?
it's Space
The
Force.
average, it's simple. The average Trump supporter is a moron.
Because
no
I
one was
really
doubting that.
I keep hearing Space Force and I almost see like that was it a Michael Jordan movie with the Looney Tunes?
No, that's
Space Jam. So you're seeing Space Jam? Are they building a stadium?
Like
that
I feel
orbits the
no,
Earth?
I feel like that's I
Yes.
feel like that's the cast of Space Force. You know what I'm saying? Like for their next trip, it's the sequel. They're
I-
going into space.
I think that Melania or not Melania, Ivanka should design the Space Force. Doesn't matter what it is. Just she designs it, and then the rest of the Trump kids go.
now it's a handbag.
Now the rest of the kids go up in Space Force.
What about that forgotten Trump?
And hopefully-
We just catapult a handbag full of Trump kids into space.
Because that's how it works to them.
Off you go.
It's okay. The average Trump supporter is a
I'm
flat earther.
interested.
The average Trump supporter is a flat earther.
He's
they're,
not wrong.
They're gonna ping off the glass and hit somewhere in Modesto. So,
Modesto. Okay, now you're just being mean.
well, has this giant handbag landed in Modesto?
Don't open it's an
What
alien.
tardations is this?
Okay, impeachment.
Yes.
So
Being held up by McConnell?
McConnell actually decided that he had the
Muscovich?
votes to push it through without the articles of impeachment or whatever, and without the witness testimony. He said he had the votes.
They're not going to listen to anything anyways, let's be honest. I mean, they don't care about justice.
Right. So I think that essentially what ended up happening is he found a way around all of it, and he was like, well, we're just going to force it through. Last thing I saw was that Pelosi said they're preparing to submit the articles next week.
What needs to happen is Mitch McConnell needs to be removed from office, and he needs to be imprisoned for life.
I am so hopeful about this new woman that's running against him. She's I want to say a former Marine. I wish I could think of her name, but like I'm in full support. She's actually got a decent following, and his support rate is abysmal.
Oh, no. They hate him. The only people who like him are billionaires who keep supporting his campaign because he sucks their cocks.
Because he makes them a shit ton of money.
The
So-
small.
And by the way,
cocks.
Kentucky is one of the poorest states in the nation because of Mitch McConnell.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah, he's absolutely terrible.
So he is screwing you on purpose. Congratulations, Kentucky.
You're welcome, Kentucky listeners.
Now,
isn't there like a
To
few of them?
cure McConnellism, simply vote the fucker out. Get rid of him.
Amy McGrath is her name.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
I've heard of
followed
her.
her on Twitter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
so hopeful.
Oh yeah, me too.
So hopeful.
Yeah, I was considering donating to her campaign.
I
even though
am
she's
going
not
to
gonna stay
donate to her
because
campaign.
That son of a bitch needs to go.
He needs to go.
Just
That
go.
position affects us all. Everybody out there, Amy McGrath, make sure that you are supporting her.
I'm tempted to try and like rent an apartment in Kentucky so I can
Go vote.
go vote for her.
McConnell.
Because it's just sad that how much he is fucking up our country. You know,
It's messed up how
One
much power
man.
he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's got to go.
He does have to
McConnellism may
go.
include side effects including a pain in the ass, rashy genitals, and more. Vote the fucker out.
He's blatantly corrupt. I mean, there's really no.
Oh yeah, and he's just like giving us the finger. Every day he is in office, it is him standing there with his finger up in our faces. Like, I can do whatever I want. I can fuck you all as hard as I like.
That's literally the attitude he takes. Is basically, I can do whatever I want. Like,
I mean, he's holding bills on his desk hostage.
You. Yeah, he's.
There's no way around him. No, he's got to go.
He does have to go. He has to go right this minute.
So I'm just curious what Russia will do to him if he gets kicked out.
What do you mean?
I'm almost certain he's in their pocket.
It's Moscow Mitch.
Oh, I wouldn't
the
doubt it.
hashtag has been
That's what I'm
so
saying.
popular for so
Moscow
long.
Mitch. That's what they call him.
Oh, that's true. I have
Sometimes
heard that.
they even call him Moscow bitch, but that's too far from Moscow.
Or Mitch the bitch.
Mitch the bitch.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that this because he's literally got like what a 20-something% approval rating.
Oh, I thought it was like 18.
It's
but
going
yeah.
lower than Trump's. It's really.
The problem is he's like 900 years old. I'm pretty sure he's a lich. These
I
are
don't think he's as
undead.
old as
No,
he
he's
seems.
just dust. He's just dust.
Well, it's like the Emperor Palpatine thing, right?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
the
you're
evil.
so evil
it's
it
the evil
corrupts
that's
you?
making him
he
age.
doesn't have yellow eyes yet.
Yet, give it a year.
But he
I'm
has snake
pretty
eyes.
sure, though, I saw him shoot lightning out of his fingertips. That force lightning's a bitch.
So he's like the opposite of Pence. Like, whereas Pence has that waxy skin suit, McConnell's is kind of ill-fitting, starting to fall off.
We need
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
this like
The
actual
demon
serious-
underneath.
It's melting.
Yeah,
The
the
demon
demon
is-
underneath is like, motherfucker, do I have to get another one?
The,
Yeah.
the demon is so hot that
He
the
can't,
McConnell
he can't
suit is
figure out
melting.
how it
It's
works.
so evil. The evil radiates heat. The heat is melting his wax suit. Therefore, we just need to give him another wax suit and throw him out. We don't want to see that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I have high hopes that this Amy McGrath will come in and kill it.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, she needs to win this election period.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't die. Yeah.
I just like what.
But
the
I
fuck?
don't think it's going to be in time to do anything about the impeachment.
No, I don't think so either. But hopefully enough of America has flipped on Trump that we'll be able to vote him out.
God,
I
I'm
s-
praying.
I
I
still
don't know
don't
how
know.
much faith I have, but I'm praying.
I don't know how.
Yeah, it worries me when we have all these red states who love Biden and the blue states love Bernie. So it's like,
Can't we just eliminate Trump and make those our two options?
well, it's
Republican
be-
Biden and Democrat Bernie?
right. That's what I'm thinking. It's just
Because that's basically what we're at
Yeah.
here.
Biden's a conservative and Bernie is a liberal. So let's
Right?
kind of just eliminate the
let's
terror.
call it what it is.
Yeah, let's get rid of the terrorist Republican Party and make these the new parties.
And that's exactly what it is. We've been infiltrated by domestic terrorists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
I'm sure that if
I wish I was exaggerating.
I'm sure that if we were able to investigate deep enough, we would find the ties. But
For sure.
Yeah.
how do you do that? How do you get in? How do you find out what's really going on? Because there's no way in hell this isn't some kind of Machiavellian plot.
Can you imagine if we didn't have people like AOC and Bernie and Warren in office right now
We
in
wouldn't
the
be
Senate?
alive.
Like, can you imagine how hopeless things would be? Like, how do you ever get in there and infiltrate and get rid of this cancer
I feel like everybody
that has
needs
taken over
No,
our
no, no.
government?
It's not cancer. Cancer is becoming curable. The Republican Party won't fucking go away. So
yeah, they're
in-
This
hemorrhoids.
isn't even what the Republican Party used to be, though. This is something else.
This is a cash grab. This is like pure corruption.
they're cunts.
It is. It's straight up corruption. So that's the thing. Is like those handful of politicians that we can get behind. They're that little ray of hope, and I can't even imagine how we would feel about our government if those people weren't in there trying to make change.
Right.
Yeah.
It would be hopeless. It would be a dark day.
Yeah.
Technically, it already is, but we're coming
Well,
back.
it is. It already is. But I mean, like I said, you have that little glimmer of hope.
Which is the wrinkle in Bernie.
I mean, I'm hopeful. Look, I really do think that Bernie is, just judging by the poll numbers and everything like that, he's our best bet. But
Bernie
once again,
is-
you have a bunch of Democrats who are like, I will never vote for Bernie. And it's just like, then who the hell
I
are you
don't
gonna vote?
understand
Dude,
why.
Bernie is riding
They-
Biden's ass.
They feel like Bernie was a spoiler. A lot of them feel like Bernie was a spoiler for Hillary, which I don't understand how.
Oh, yeah.
The second he was no longer an option, he supported Hillary
Right.
in order to keep Trump out of office, which everybody in their right mind should have done whatever it takes to keep Trump out
There
of
were
office.
a bunch of people who voted for Bernie anyways. Now the thing was, though, that wasn't Bernie's
It
fault.
wasn't his fault.
That was the DNC's fault for fucking Bernie.
It was 100% the DNC's fault. They admitted to the fact that they didn't select the candidate that we voted for.
Right.
Yeah.
And they literally said, well, we're not obligated to select the candidate that you vote for.
Right.
To which I say, fuck you, I'll never donate to you again.
Right. Yeah, I dropped my Democratic sponsorship.
Yep.
Oh my.
Now I'll still vote Democrat to get rid of Trump.
Right.
I'll vote for whoever wins
Obviously.
the nomination.
Yes.
Can you guys believe that there are so many people that are like, because Bernie is supporting the ability to not, die on the streets because you're dying of sickness. Healthcare and like cheaper college and shit like that is what Bernie is trying to do. And he's just like, and then there's Republicans where they're like, Bernie has not done a single day's work in his life before this, and I'm like, dude, have you even read the fucking Wikipedia page for him? He has over 40 jobs. He's been a part of the Liberty Union back in the 70s, and then he was an affiliated member in the 80s of the Vermont Progressive Party. He's done so much shit, and no Republican actually does their fucking research.
He's sponsored countless bills. I mean, he's been out there on the front line.
He's been working hard like through his entire career. That man, like, I think that when he first came to my attention, like, and I mean, you start to hear things and everything, but like really, it was that first time I saw him being arrested when he was young.
Right.
At like I think it was a rights movement. That was it. That sealed my I will follow this man, throughout his career, because he has been fighting for, minorities and people who don't have the voice that they should. They don't have the support that they should. They don't have the rights that they should. He's been fighting for them since the beginning. And he still is.
I love the arguments against him that are basically...
He's a spot poking... he's a pot smoking hippie?
No, not stuff like that. He isn't doing anything. He has no plan for the environment.
No.
Read the Green New Deal. Just read what it is.
Right.
And they're like, oh, well, it's not viable. Okay, what does anybody else have that's more viable? Crickets. They never have anything. His healthcare plan will never work. Actually, studies show that it's the
works
only plan
everywhere else.
that will actually work. Right. So
it's not like these things are completely unfounded and unheard of. They work in other places.
He's not even claiming he created them. He's not even claiming that he came up with the ideas. He just wants them instated here.
Right.
He's done so much stuff in political activism.
The only reason to deny this stuff is that you're a corporate shill.
Right.
That's true.
That's it. I'm taking money from corporations. That's why I hate Bernie. Just say it.
Right,
Just be honest about it.
Because literally, they're puppets.
Your boss is an oil company, and that's why you hate Bernie. Your boss is an insurance company. That's why you hate Bernie. Your boss is a bank, and that's why you hate Bernie.
Could also be because there's a lot of really rich white people. Obviously, the wage gap between black males and white males is huge in between those two. And, because of the extreme racism. And if you are a corporate shill who's very rich, you might hate Bernie because he's been a part of many civil rights movements, Congress of Racial Equality, that sort of thing. So, he's a nice person who wants racial equality. So if you're,
racist
as fuck, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's not going to attract people who are just bad people.
But
I mean, he's fighting for equality and the right to live.
But why? Why in 2020 are his ideas considered radical ideas? These aren't radical ideas.
It's appalling that they are considered
ideas.
radical ideas. The idea that we can not destroy the planet, that people deserve, to be able to go to the doctor when they're ill, to live when they're sick.
I know. It's like, how are we in 2020 as a world, as a whole world, in the grips of a regime of idiots who stand a very solid chance of wiping out the human race? Because literally, that is what we're facing right now.
World War
The
III.
threat to mankind
It's not just World War III.
is stupidity.
The threat to mankind is these people who value money over life.
Yeah, but
Our lives.
let's
mind
be
you,
honest.
Our lives.
They're idiots.
They're literally destroying the planet, and they're destroying everything around us. The economy is literally going to come crashing down because without all of these people to,
Well, it's not just
do
that.
all the labor,
As the
there
environment,
is no corporation making money. When we can't afford to buy products, your company is going to crash.
That's true. As the environment continues to fail, it will affect the economy grossly. In fact, only minor changes in the environment will start destroying businesses. It will cost us billions.
That's why Trump pulled out of the Paris Treaty thing, where it was to
Yeah, but it
lower-
would cost us far less to make these preparations. We would be able to save so much if we would just prepare, but we won't. We refuse.
We
And so
have to move in
we're
that
talking-
direction. This
we're-
planet can't sustain us.
We're talking in the next just few years, it's going to start doing the kind of damage that will be unrepairable.
Right.
But
Right.
we refuse to see it.
And you know what? Here's the funny thing is that they act like they can continue squeezing every penny out of consumers and refusing to pay fair wages that people can live on, and that this can be like maintained in
Yeah,
some
it's not
way.
sustainable in
Like,
any way.
I don't understand their thinking here. They're already complaining that, oh, millennials crashed the diamond industry. Really? So people who can't afford luxury items because you're not paying them enough
Right.
can crash an entire industry. And you
yeah,
think that's never going to touch
Well,
you?
let's
I'd
be
love to
honest.
hear that.
All the industries that are crashing, elites crashed them. Not anybody else. The consumers didn't do this. The elites did, because we
Right.
have a lopsided, broken economy.
Right,
if you guys,
exactly. Capitalism as it's framed out in America is not working.
And that's why
Yeah.
we're starting to call it end-stage capitalism.
If you
We're in
guys
its death throes.
If you guys go to r/murderbywords subreddit on Reddit, you will see a few really funny articles, and it's phrased in a way to make millennials look like shit. Like, for instance, there's one article where it was like, millennials are treating their pets like their firstborn children, and now it seems like it's treating, now it's causing problems for the world's best known food brands. And, somebody responded with, it's a weird way of phrasing. We have garbage fillers that barely qualify as nutrition, but we're going to pin it on millennials. So, like, it's always the millennials who suck, right? It's always the punching bag.
Well, it's
it's a mindset. They always have to have somebody
it's a
to
complete
blame.
lack of self-awareness
All you
on
have to
behalf
say-
of the elites and
And the boomers who vote
and the
for
boomers
them.
who voted for them,
Exactly.
right? That's where we're at. So
It's this mindset that there's always somebody else to blame. You
Right.
know, whether it's poor people or, people of other ethnicities or, what millennials, whatever it is. The bottom line is their life was very different. They lived in a different country, and they refused to accept that things are not the way that they used to be. This American dream and everything that they lived through doesn't exist anymore. And
Actually-
their whole when I was your age thing is complete and utter bullshit, because there's no parallels to be drawn.
it's not the same world, right? It's not the same world. For you, a part-time job
paid for college.
paid for a 4-year degree. Today, I need 6 of those to pay for the same degree.
Right, exactly.
So, sorry, it's not the same world. We're being fucked by your policies of greed.
It's
The world's
completely
going to be
different.
destroyed by your policies of greed. Your children aren't going to be able to see you in the nursing home because they are going to have to work extra jobs just to afford to live.
And to put you in a nursing home.
If they bother, I would just leave you at the bus stop.
Yeah, these.
We'll see you next week.
I gotta